to the way that those water feeds work up there. That one gets a special case, right? This should be the same. Yep. Nope. Why aren't these the same? Because I misplaced this. Why did my phone just restart? I didn't give it permission to restart. Probably just installed all that new government spyware. That where it's supposed to be. Yep, right on the edge of that power pole. And these are one off of that power pole. Every frickin' pipe is in the perfect spot, right? Pipe and belt and underbelt, underpipe. Nothing just arbitrarily placed. If there were a rail here, it would be there. As such, none of these would be here. As this would be here. I put that there because I didn't want to interfere with this rail. And that's fine. Just gonna have to deal with this. That's as good as that's gonna get. But I have consistency now. So this unloader is this loader is a little bit clumsy and a little bit cluttered. Like, how's my favorite like 'em today? hope you're doing well on this Friday. Hey, I heard Rebecca Black's Friday song today. I heard you're a big fan of that. I happened to tune into New York City Bicycle Messenger this morning just after his mom requested that song, and it's not like he's going to tell his mom no. So we all had to sit through it. And the lyrics are horrible. I mean, at the time, I was like, oh, it's kind of catchy. No, those lyrics, they're bad. And I'm pretty unkind when it comes to um, bad music. And the thing of it is it's like it's I kind of compare it to a comedian who's coming up through the ranks. Is that a musician who hasn't been exposed to a lot of negative feedback? When you put your product out there and it gets slaughtered by the marketplace, um, if you haven't built up that thick skin that comes from being part of the marketplace when it slaughters you, you don't have the emotional depth to deal with that negative feedback that happens. And from what I'm told, she didn't. Well, if you're bear, you're supposed to be bear. Bear means those aren't there. So she had a real hard time dealing with the rejection that came with her song being lampooned on the interwebs. Of course, that's just what I was told. I could be wrong. It was the interwebs, after all. So I'm working on the fluid unloaders and loaders now, bringing them to the same standards as what I'm using for the solids. Which involves me basically taking out all of the pipes everywhere and redoing them. Because I'm moving them all left and right, shimmying them. And I was really hoping to join Cyclo in his multiplayer today, but the timing doesn't look like it's going to work out. So, unfortunate. So, rather than copy that other stuff and have to deal with that upgrading and whatnot, I'll just do this. Yeah, that answers that question then, doesn't it? But this needs to be 6, not 7. Perfect. So this interrupts the train signal that would normally be configured coming from here. And says, you're only allowed to actually request the train if this thing gives you permission. And it would only give you permission if there was too much red. And I gotta recalculate this, but there's clearly not enough red. So that's working. So I got that going for me, which is nice. And we're off with the pirates. This is a little different because it doesn't have the water, but it's nearly identical. So let's rip all this out. So first we have a bare loader. Actually, we have a 0 loader. You are lube. And then we've got to get an unloader in here. You are red fluids. Did I just double click to select something? I did. More of a triple click, but yeah. Now, as I recall, it's there. Get rid of the rail, and this should be the same for everybody. Now, same thing with the output. I'm really leaning towards just doing this for, because is Fluid output always going to be the same on every layout, where the output is I'm out of pipe. Who has pipe? Lycum doesn't have pipe. King Finerb has plenty of pipe to be laid. Come lay that pipe, big boy. So, as a reminder, I need to review fluid loaders to see if I can simplify the balancer. And then this doesn't matter what you do, this is going to be the same. That's not supposed to be there. I have one pipe left, King. You're not here yet. And yet, I am waiting. Move faster, you gout-infested, bloated royalty. Alright, so we're done with those two. Now we have to make a mess of this disaster. While we wait for our king, the king, to arrive, we'll save off a bunch of stuff and some things. I didn't even get to see what Mucky streamed today. Six hours ago, huh? Oh, goody, he did some Factorio. This looks like Nullius, though. Good stuff. Yeah, time zone sucks, bro. I mean, it's the equivalent of, like, I don't know, what's one of those venereal diseases that you get that goes away but keeps coming back? I mean, you get them. Yeah, herpes, yeah. Time zone changes are the equivalent of herpes. I'll give you my herpes. Alright, so we're just going to rip all this out. Ah, crap. I just lost a bunch of red fluid. Might as well lose all of it. Seeing as some of them were empty anyways. No! Didn't want to lose that oil. Also, I want to delete this. I don't want you coming in. Dropping off oil all of a sudden. Alright, so we start with the loader. 0 loader, even though we're doing a reloader. Now, loader, loader. What are you bitching about? Oh. No, that was the wrong loader template. I need the bear loader template. One, two. And then the unloaders, I need 2 unloaders for oil. And then I will figure out water after that. Water. Could look like this. Water does look like this. If I can get these little bits. Water. I missed some deletions. Oh yeah, I was supporting large power poles there. Alright, so we can put this in place, but this needs to be manually set. You two are the same, so I can put that there. And then I can delete you two. You are red sauce. Now I've got to add this here. I would rather go up there. Output. And then the green, you just simply need a copy. You don't need to interrupt. And then 7 needs to do the same thing. And you are yellow. You're yellow. And you, gas. Alrighty then. You need fewer connections. That's better. I'm just going to ignore that for a moment. And come down here. Perfect. I'm very happy with that. Now, my philosophy on this was to just simply add a thingamadoodle for the whatchamacallit and be good with that. And that's still what I want to do. I want to add a very simple T-junction for these loaders. I don't know that I can do it, but it's what I want to try. And I can tell you right there, I can't do it there. Rah. Good. Can I do that for the next level? Because this is yellow. Can I do it for the oil and the water? So this is going to be a bit of a problem. Yeah. Because this is where I would normally expect to bring the oil down. And they're kind of in the way. And I didn't save any of this. I'd have to go get a load and look at that. But we want to look at it like this is the most tight and off-shifted I'm going to have it. This would normally go here, and then it would go down, and then it would go down to right here, and it would do the same thing here. But I've got the pipe setup here is different. Now, the oil cannot do anything but put a straight pipe there. So the fluid, the water, cannot have a straight pipe there. So the only thing I could do is move this up, and then do that. I don't want to do anything different than that. Which seems like a horrific use of pipes. And I think it is. But if I'm going to have any consistency like this, I gotta do it. I'll see if I need to do that there, but... And then you've got to come here. Now, I could pull these water pipes all the way up here. Causes a bit of a problem when it comes to this RoboPort, but I could make up for that there. And that wouldn't sit so poorly with me as this does. For some reason, I'm okay with underground pipes being separated by a rail segment, but not by less than a gap. Not by a small gap like that. But if I'm being honest, all the other underbelts that I'm working with, excluding that, always leave that gap. SMS received. Yeah, unfortunately for me to do that, I mean, I want to participate in this multiplayer. That would be great. But in order for me to do that, I'd have to. I'm recording this for my stream, as for my YouTube as well. So I'd have to stop doing that and do a bunch of setup work. And I'm kind of in a groove here. But I do miss playing with him and the other folks there. So, unfortunate. Maybe in the future it'll be a little earlier or a little later or something. I don't know. Life. So then in theory, this is going to get me oil here. Why are you in the wrong spot? Oh, because you're not oil. That's why I did that. All right, so where do I want to feed this? God, that's a horrible version of that song. So I just want to stuff this here and see how it goes for now. I'll put this here for now and see what I do with it in a minute. Well, that's kind of challenging. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I got the same problem on both of these. Given the size, I'm seriously considering moving these over 1 or 2. If I were to move these over 1 or 2 to bring them closer together, I wouldn't have as much of a swing to the outside. And these would more closely align with this because it's not supposed to be aligned with the center of the train so much as the center of the two wagons. Because it's this alignment that matters. If you look at this one, what I'm trying to do is it's deceptive because it's like, okay, you're in the middle of that locomotive. Yes. But what I actually am is in the middle of these two unloading wagons, and they push to the left and they push to the right. And I don't quite get the same here. But in order to get to the middle of those, I would have to shift this over 1, which I can't do. So this would go here. If I tried to do that, you know, it's a fail. So somewhere I have to have that. And I think that my mistake here, yeah, is that I tried to put this in the middle of these locomotives. I aligned it with the wrong thing. Look at these idiots tying up all my bots. I'm going to eventually run out of bots. If I very carefully do this, I might not run out of bots. This is, I think, a bug in the bot design. And I hope it gets fixed in the future. Bots should not go out to place something until there's a bot available to remove what's underneath it. It's just bad. It creates a situation where everything gets deadlocked. Because all of your bots are out there waiting for something to come pick up what's underneath what it's trying to chop off. And I can clearly see it's not a high priority. It happens so rarely. If it required a lot of logic or rewrite, I wouldn't invest in it. Okay. Well, let's start from this premise then. That a loader has this configuration. For a balance. For a balance. So this balances a loader before it loads. I don't know that this is what I want to do with this oil, but let's start with that, because this lets me line things up much better. Oil's already got an unloading pump? Yeah, it does. Now on these, I pushed the water up and didn't have any problem with that. So let's consider doing that here too. Yeah, that's not going to work at all. I mean, I'm fine with that being pushed up, but huh. Created a nice little conundrum for myself here. Yeah, that's an option right there. Let's bring water as far north as we can on each of these, which is here, which is a problem. But yeah, you can't go like that. I could do this with water almost consistently. Now this is broken now. I kind of have to do that to fix it. I'll see what I can do about fixing this down here instead of having to do that up there, but matter of fact, I could do this. Hmm. So if I pull that up and I push this a little bit differently, it would mean for consistency, I would be pulling this up. Which I don't really have a reason for why those water pumps are that way. You know, with this one tile gap. Also, I missed a pipe there. And when I look at this, I don't have water there. I have water here, but water's coming from the other side on this one, so I don't care. Do I have this as a clean option? I don't like the inconsistency of what I'm doing here. Also, this should not have water in it. Ugh, back hurts. All right, let's do it that way then. So that takes care of that. Now, what about oil? Oil. I can bring you all the way down here. All right. Well, that's not good enough for this, so it's going to have to be no more than that. So if I try and bring oil down like this, doesn't quite work because that is on the wrong side. But if I bring it down consistently right here, because of the way I did that, EPS guy is here. I gotta take a quick break, take care of that. BRB.